Mike from Rimshaw Studio here. I hope you're well. How many times have you felt inspired to record some music only to have technical problems stop you before you even start? Well, this video is going to solve that. I'm going to share with you exactly how I set up in my studio for sessions, and I'm even going to share my template with you. The number one thing I do before every session is create an input list. Although I've probably got a good idea of what the session involves, there are still loads of questions I need to talk to the artist about so that we can make sure everything runs smoothly. Some of these are just going to be relevant if you're working in a slightly bigger studio, but a lot of them are useful things to think about even if you're just recording yourself at home. If we're recording vocals, are they going to be live? Are they going to be an overdub? Does the vocalist want the choice to keep some of the live vocals? We do a lot of sessions here with live piano, Hammond and Rhodes. Often it can be a mix of acoustic instruments and DI'd keyboards. If there's a bass guitar, is it going through an amp? Is it DI'd? Is it both? Live drums, is the drummer right or left-handed? How many toms are they likely to use? What kind of sound are we going for? We've got a choice of doing something in the live room or in the booth here, depending on the kind of vibe that we're going for. Again, all of this can change on the day, but it's really good to have an idea ahead of time. How do the band like to be set up? If they're used to playing lots of shows, it might be worth getting a copy of their stage plot and setting them up in a similar way so that they feel as comfortable as possible from the get-go. So once you've got all that information, what do you actually do with it? Well, everything goes on an input list, and I'm going to show you mine on the computer. We've got the source, which is the instrument, the mic or the DI, whether it needs phantom power or a power supply. Then I've got a tie line, which is something a studio will have, but you may not have at home. It's basically just a socket on the wall that goes through into the patch bay and interconnects everything. Then the mic pre, in my case this is going to be either the SSL or the Decca consoles. Then any outboard, so that could be compressor, limiter, an EQ or dynamics. Then which input in Pro Tools it's going into and the output. So if we follow one of these through, we've got an overhead mic here. It's a U87 mic, it needs phantom power, it plugs into the wall in D6, comes up on SSL mic input 8, it's going through an outboard EQ, and it's routed to input 7 from Pro Tools and comes out of 31 and 32. This is probably more complicated than if you've got a setup at home, but the idea is exactly the same, and it just takes all the guesswork out of stuff. Another thing that's really helpful with this is when you're working with another engineer, either of us can make a change to something and it just gets updated everywhere. I also use this for headphone routing. I've got 8-channel headphone mixers at the studio. It just means that when they come in, everything is routed, everything is labeled and tested. Everything is just easy and relaxed, and that's what it should be like. What I found is having a system frees me up to be more creative and more present when artists are in the studio. It's going to help you relax and create an atmosphere where people feel they can be creative. There's a link below to download a copy of the input list. If you've enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and look after yourselves and each other. See you next time.